Alright guys, so in today's video we are going to be discussing something a little serious. As you guys may have heard, Jeff Gladney, cornerback for the Vikings, he recently got in some trouble this past weekend with a domestic violence case. So obviously I'm going to preface this video, I'm going to be a little more sensitive, a little more conscious, and kind of take this from kind-hearted point of view. But anyways, when we talking about Jeff Gladney, he got arrested. I'm going to be he turned himself in actually. So I'm going to be going over the facts. I'm going to be telling you guys what happened and where the Vikings should really go from here. Obviously, this is a sensitive topic, so we're going to talk about this in the most kind-hearted way possible. Obviously, I don't want to offend anybody in this video. So anyways, if you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel. Minnesota Vikings cornerback Jeff Gladney got into some trouble this weekend. He turned himself into the police in Dallas. That's what we're going to be talking about. Anyways, if you guys are new here, like the video, comment down below. Let's get into it. Jeff Gladney, going into a second-year corner from the Minnesota Vikings. He attended TCU University in Texas, and he got into a bit of an argument, and it turned physical with his girlfriend. I'm just kind of giving you guys the information that I know to be true or that was reported. Obviously, more information will come out. We don't really know what happened. So, anyways, Jeff Gladney this weekend, him and his girlfriend, it was just a female that he had in his life. It hasn't really come out if it was his girlfriend, but a 22-year-old woman. He got in an argument over the phone. They eventually met in person, and the conversation kind of escalated, and then Gladney kind of made it physical. He said it started off with just him being very physical with the grab, and he was getting very touchy with her, kind of shoving her. And then they proceeded to head to a vehicle, I believe. The timetable still hasn't really came out yet, so I don't know how much later this was. But apparently later on in the argument, he was able to get in the car. He was able to get in the car and drive. He was driving. She was in the passenger seat, shotgun. And he was allegedly pulling her by the hair, choking her out while he was driving. And it said in the report he was dragging her on the floor of the car. And this just seems like something that is a very delicate topic to talk about right now, because this is a very serious case. And his initial bond posted is already at $10,000. He did turn himself in because he had an arrest warrant out for him, and that's all we really know so far. Pretty much, Jeff Gladney and his girlfriend, or his friend, a 22-year-old woman, got in an argument. It escalated. Gladney allegedly made it a physical argument, and while they were driving, he apparently choked her out and was pulling her by the hair and dragging her. Listen, what do the Vikings do from here? I don't really want to talk about the case. I just want to talk about this from a Minnesota Vikings Rick Spielman perspective. Anyways, so Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer, the entire organization, they really have to address this very delicately, because this is something you don't really want to mess around with, because we don't know if this is completely true what happened, or if there's more, or if there's less. We don't really know where it is. It could fall anywhere in between. It could be like, this is exactly what happened, what I just told you guys, or it could be it was even more, there was punches or whatever, or it could just be like nothing, and maybe Gladney grabbed her hard on the wrist. You really never know until the facts actually do come out. That's why the story is still fresh. So allegedly, after this altercation happened, the officer was coming to the house to support the 22-year-old woman, and Gladney fled the scene. This obviously does not look good for Gladney, but then again, later on that Friday in Dallas, he did turn himself in because he did have an arrest warrant out for him. So he ended up turning himself in on Friday, and now obviously it's Tuesday, so we're still kind of waiting for more news. The news broke yesterday, and when you turn yourself in when you're arrested, I believe you have to stay there entire weekend. If you are on a Friday, if you get arrested on a Friday, I think you have to stay there till Monday. And the Minnesota Vikings came out and already said that they're taking this very seriously, which I like. But however, I think this does change a couple things for the NFL draft. And I think the Vikings do need to now look at the cornerback room and bringing in another corner. Obviously, we do still have Mac Alexander, Mike Hughes, Dantzler, and Pat Peterson. Yes, I know we have 4 good corners, so I would consider a good corner, so I'll be fine rolling out. But however, you lose a corner potentially for the entire year, your depth is going to be depleted. So I think the Vikings do need to look at that now, and I know Mike Zimmer's probably hoping Patrick Surtain or the dude from South Carolina falls to us at 14, and I could really see now the Vikings taking a corner. So I'll be back-to-back years drafting a corner in the first round. Hoping they don't. I'm hoping they stick with the offensive line or defensive line route, even if Jeff Gladney has to miss time. Realistically, my prediction with all this, when I initially read the report, it was pretty gruesome. And I kind of got sick to my stomach because I never really expected this. Obviously, I'm hoping this is not true. I'm 100% hoping that. I do not want that on Gladney. It's just a disturbing thing that I just hope he did not do. But if he did do this, there's going to be punishment from the NFL, from the government, it's not just a NFL thing. This is a real life situation. And I think the Vikings, if he would be convicted of a felony, they would need to cut him. That's in the NFL. I mean, obviously you have seen guys like Ray Lewis and O.J. Simpson do way worse things, and Gladney didn't get away with it. But obviously Gladney doesn't have the same political power in the system that those two had. So obviously I'm hoping Gladney's going to be fine, but if he were to have to miss time, it would be very serious for the Vikings. And if this gets worse, I could see the Vikings actually cutting him before training camp. And the draft is coming up. I'm sure they're hoping they get more information by then. This is going to be a story we're going to have to follow all the way through. Jeff Gladney, tough news, got in an incident. I just kind of wanted to portray this news and kind of give you guys my thoughts. Obviously, it's a terrible situation. This is not what I wanted when news broke about Jeff Gladney yesterday. Terrible situation, but you guys will probably hear more about this coming soon. I haven't really seen anybody make a video about this, but I just want to relay the information to you guys and kind of tell you guys how I feel. Anyways, if you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, comment down below. Tough news for the Vikes today, but still, Skol Vikes. Hopefully we get some good news tomorrow, good or better news about the situation later on in the week. Hopefully it does not get worse. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Skol Vikes.